everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs, and today I'm doing a box using a new stamp set, which is the online exclusives that came out this month. This one is Resourceful Rudy, who I believe is a fox because of his bushy tail. It's adorable. This is kind of like an encouraging kind of stamp set. There's 4 images of the fox plus an extra of the apples, and there's 3 sentiments. Keep going, don't give up, you've got this, and you can do it. So I thought this was perfect because my daughter is coming to the midterm season in college and she could use something. All right, this box measures 2 1/4 by 3 1/2 by 1, opens like this, and I thought she would always want some sugar to keep her going with studying. So there's fun size Sour Patch Kids, Starburst, and a Hershey bar. And what we need is a piece of peach pie cardstock that is 10 by 6 1/4, some basic white and granny apple green to stamp on, and then I'm using the Wildflower birthday DSP, and we need 2 pieces that are 2 by 2 1/4, 2 that are 2 by 1 3/4, 2 that are 3/4 by 3 1/4, and 2 that are 1 3/4 by 3/4. All right, so let me get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 10-inch side. Score at 2 1/2, 3 1/2, 7, and 8. Turn it to the 6 1/4 inch side and score at 1, 2, 4 1/4, and 5 1/4. All right, now fold and burnish your score lines. All right, now we want the larger strip between these 2 pieces. The larger one goes over here. So this one is 2 1/2, and this one is 2. And then there's 2 1-inch strips on the top and 2 on the bottom. All right, and this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so start over here. Go to the first score line and cut it to the second score line. Take off these 2 pieces. Okay, go to the next one and cut it to the second. Take off the square and wedge the one that's there still. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the bottom square and wedge the one that's still there. And then take these 2 pieces off. Okay, and that's one side. Now turn it to the other side and we'll start over here again. All right, now we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take these 2 rectangles off. Go to the next score line and cut it to the second score line. Take off the square and wedge this one. Go to the next 2 sets of score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the bottom square and wedge the top. And then we're going to take these 2 rectangles off also. All right. And then we're going to take our corner rounder and round the corners of these rectangles right here. Alright, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. Now I'm going to take some Stampin Seal. I usually use liquid glue because this is kind of a lot more expensive than liquid glue, but on these kind of boxes that you have to, with liquid glue, I would have to hold the tabs for so long, so I'm just going to use Stampin Seal Plus on all 4 of those tabs. And let's start over here. Take the score line on the tab and make it straight with the inner rectangle on both sides. And then you're going to connect these to the same rectangle on the other end. And that's our box. And we're going to put the smaller piece flap down first. Alright, now we need our DSP. Now it's your choice. On this one I put 1 of each on these of the small flap, but this one I'm going to put green on both parts of the small flap. These pieces will go on the large flap, front and back, long sides and short sides. I'm going to put these on with liquid glue. Alright, now I'm going to just let that dry up and we're going to do our stamping. Okay, so we need our basic white and our green Tuxedo Black ink. And first I'm going to do our squirrel, not squirrel. I guess it could be a squirrel, but I think it's a fox because they did it in orange on the website too. So put that right there. Good. And then the sentiment I picked is "You Can Do It." I'm going to do that on the Granny Apple Green cardstock. Let's try that again. Alright, I'll just cut that off. Okay, and we're going to cut this out. I forgot to mention I'm using the 1 3/4 and the 2-inch circle punches for this. So I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch for Rusty. And then with the, I forgot to keep it, with the 2-inch punch, I'm going to cut one out of Granny Apple Green cardstock. Alright, and I'm using 3 colors to color the fox: light peach pie, light pool party, and light Granny Apple Green. So with the peach pie, on the top of this tail, I'm just going to do a little zigzag and then color in the rest. Doesn't have to be exact zigzag, just make it so that it's not straight across, but I guess you could do straight across if you really wanted to. Alright, and then I'm going to do his arms and his hands, the top of his ears, and his head here, and then his sides and his legs. Alrighty, and you know what I forgot? I forgot to do his tongue on this, so I need another marker. Alright, and then I'm going to use light Granny Apple Green for the apples. Alright, I lost my, I'm sure it's around here somewhere, but I lost my light Old Olive marker, so I'm just going to use the dark Old Olive for the leaves on the apple. I really like the light better, but that's alright. It'll turn up somewhere here. Okay, and then I'm going to do a light flirty flamingo for his mouth, his tongue there. I'll put that in both of these. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to take the light pool party, and since we don't have a die, I'm going to just outline the outer part of this fox just so that he pops a little bit on the page. On the circle. All right. Alright, now I'm going to take dimensionals and attach them to the Granny Apple Green square. Circle. Alright, now we need our box. Okay, and for the closure, I'm going to use my usual 3/8 inch adhesive Velcro dots. And I'm going to put one on the edge of the top flap here. And then we'll put the other one on top. And then I'm going to try to close this nice and even. Okay, now we're good there. Alrighty, I'm going to cut my sentiment out by hand. I'm just going to cut it close to it because I just have the hardest time with cling stamps and sentiments, getting them straight. Alright, and now I'm going to tie some peach pie bordered ribbon at the top of this upper flap and tie a bow up there. Okay, and then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of Rusty. I'm going to pop him right in there. Alright, and then I'm just going to glue the sentiment. I made this one a little bit bigger around, but that's alright. I'm just going to put this right down in the middle of this bottom flap. Well, when it's closed, it's not the middle when it's open. Alright, and then I'm just going to take some Wink of Stella onto the apples. I didn't do that on here, and I wanted to. Alright, this is glitter. Whoops, it's like a quick drying glitter. Alright, and for the final touch, I'm going to put on some party dots. These already sold out, but they'll be back in April 14th. Alright. And I'm going to put two large ones. One in the middle right there. One up there. And then a small one touching the bottom of the sentiment right there. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, my email is below, along with the link to my blog and my shop. All right, please subscribe and hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.